These manufacturers have something that Toyota doesn't. We're talking about Jeep, Jaguar, Mercedes, and BMW. I bet you can guess what it is. Yeah, it's an inline six. And we're gonna get into it. My name is Eric. I like to make videos on sports cars and performance cars and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, go ahead, hit subscribe. So Mazda, a performance car? What are we talking about? I thought that the RX-7 is long gone and dead, and actually, unfortunately, it is. However, some news dropped just today, and it looks like Mazda is up to something really, really cool that apparently Toyota thinks that they can't do. And that is a brand new, from scratch, inline six engine. Not one, but a couple different variations. We're going to talk about that. Jay Westbrook of Jalopnik dropped the story, and credit to him, some very, very good sleuthing. He found a report. It's an investor report for 2019 that I guess was released a couple days ago. And in it, there are plans that Mazda is going to implement in the coming years, 2020 to 2025 or so, including some new engines. There's a couple things that are mentioned in this report, actually two things. There is something called the small architecture, and that is the Skyactive G and D that we currently have. These are the super efficient engines that are not turbocharged, I think, for the most part. Then there's the large architecture, and we've got two new engines, and actually three. So we've got the straight six Skyactiv X, they're calling it, and the straight six Skyactiv D. Now, I like the D, diesel, because, you're probably not going to be able to get the diesel in North America. Unfortunately, that's my guess. Don't really know. And then they've got a third one, which is, well, we'll talk about that in a second. I think this is going to be probably in the new Mazda 6, and I think that the Mazda 6 is going to be in a rear-wheel drive configuration. Well, Eric, why would it be rear-wheel drive? Because the configuration, they're talking about mounting this engine longitudinally. And I've got a diagram up on screen right now, and you can see that is essentially the engine in the front to back configuration where the inline six cylinders line up with the drivetrain. There's really no reason to do an inline six unless you're going to do rear-wheel drive, and that is because of packaging. Most engines nowadays, especially four cylinders, are transversely mounted. You can see it goes side to side. That's a very popular configuration because it saves a lot of space. It's good for packaging, especially for a four-cylinder. But I think we're talking about a rear-wheel drive Mazda 6, and that is pretty darn cool in my books. There's also going to be an all-wheel drive version and a 48-volt mild hybrid, which is what I was talking about earlier. Don't have a lot of details on that. However, a mild hybrid is not, we're not really talking about a Prius, we're talking about a hybrid that is used to enhance performance more so than gas mileage, than fuel economy. And let me know down below if that's actually correct, but that is my understanding. So when are these going to be out? Well, my understanding is 2020 to 2025. That's what's in this investor guide. And why is Mazda doing it? Well, if you've seen the new Mazda 3, I think it's a really gorgeous looking car. I think the interior is really nice. I think the styling is actually really super clean. They're going with this Kodo design. So for my money, when I look at the new Mazdas and I guess the future upcoming ones like the 3, I think the interiors are really, really nice. I think overall we're talking about sort of 80% of the way to an Audi for, maybe 60% of the price, something like that. I think it's a pretty good equation. I think they're definitely moving away a little bit from the hot hatch that they used to have with the, the crazy high horsepower, the 276 horsepower Mazda 3 Speed. I had one of those. I didn't like the car that much. I thought the transmission was terrible, to be honest with you. Still kind of a cool concept, but they're moving away from that. They're trying to go more upscale because Mazda is a smaller manufacturer, especially when you compare them against, Toyota, Honda, and so forth. So they're really trying to position themselves a little bit higher up in the scale so that they can make more money, which, hey, it's a good aspiration, right? So here's a question, kind of an open question. Do you think because we're going to have this new inline six and probably a new rear-wheel drive Mazda 6, do you think that we're going to see another sports coupe, something larger, perhaps something a bit more luxurious? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. So, okay, Toyota, the ball is in your court. My last video was on the lack of a 3JZ and why BMW decided to partner with Toyota, or the other way around, actually. I still hold those opinions pretty solid. Clearly, Toyota didn't want to invest in a new inline 6 engine. They're a much different company than Mazda. Mazda is a much more niche player, and I think they're, as I said before, they're trying to go more upscale and trying to do something where they really can use that engine in a couple different vehicles. They don't have the breadth of vehicles that Toyota does. Toyota already has a lot of engines that are pretty efficient, and Toyota is much more of a mass market manufacturer. That's pretty clear. If you like these videos and you want to talk about these kind of cars and stuff more frequently, I've got a Discord chat. It's absolutely free. It's going to be linked down below in the description. I also want to thank my Patreons, and my Patreons get early access to my videos. They get discounts on merchandise. They see the scripts, all that kind of cool stuff. Starts at $1 a month. That's going to be linked right over here too. I appreciate all of you. If you want to see another video over here, just pick one. See you in the next one.